Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the morning after with your host, me, Alex Ringler. Let's go around and see who's calling in today. Russ, let's start with who you are, where you're calling in from, and have you ever been made to do drag when you didn't want to, like our crew this week?
Hi, I'm Russ Wyatt. I'm the publisher of Q Life magazine, calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada. I have done drag 3 times, once for a performance.
Oh.
In high school.
Oh, we got a seasoned pro over here. My goodness. Michael.
Hold on. It's actually
shit.
Because our speaking of not wanting to do drag, our high school tradition was that we would do a variety show in January and the entire football team was drag. So I got to choreograph the football team in drag in high school.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure there were many, things that happened with that. The football team, the bleachers. We could go on and on. Michael Barbieri.
In there.
Hi, I'm Michael Barbieri. I'm the dining and entertainment writer for Q Life magazine, and I'm calling in from New York. And I've never been made to do drag. I've done drag, and I had a lot of fun doing it, but I make a very, very homely woman. Trust me.
Oh, well, I'll have to believe it when I see it. So maybe next week. And a new panelist this morning, afternoon, Walter Kurtz.
My turn?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I am the dreaded. Okay. Yes, I am the dreaded and feared Walter Kurtz, the photographer. I'm calling in from Chelsea in beautiful Donkey-Mere on West 22nd Street. Ooh. And no, I've never been forced to do drag. Anybody who knows me knows I can't be forced to do anything I don't want to do.
I'm on East 22nd Street.
Nice.
Go, I'll wave.
Oh my gosh, we're all nearby except for me way uptown. Well, thank you for agreeing to come on our show this week. And Christopher.
Hi, I'm Christopher Anthony Henry, and I am an actor and singer and comic from New York City. I live way uptown in Harlem, and I've never been forced to do drag either, but I've done it as part of a couple of theatrical shows, and I did it for Halloween where I was Supergirl this year. So, and I make the hairiest drag queen that you've ever seen.
I would believe that. Dylan!
What's up, man? All right. So now I am 30 years old, and I have spent too much of my birthday watching some drag queens in the little screen over here. I'm ready to fucking tear some people apart, get angry with it. I'm gonna be ruthless, I tell you.
Fantastic. Dylan, is it your, someone told me it's your birthday.
That's right.
Yay, happy 30th birthday. That explains why you've been celebrating.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah.
And the bikini top. I mean, and someone forced you in that, so that's your forced drag there. So there we go. Garrett.
Hi, everyone. My name is Garrett with Q Life. I'm calling in today from the beautiful Hotel Sur in Puerto Vallarta. I'm on a media trip here. I grew up with 5 sisters, so drag for me, I feel like I wore dresses until I was 5. I always wanted to be like them. And then one day my mom told me the horseshoer came over and chopped off, I don't know what they call it for horses, but like neutering a dog, chopped off the balls of a horse and threw them across the yard. And I said, Mom, why did he do that? She said, because he wore dresses. And I never wore a dress again until I was Honey Boo Boo Child on Halloween, like many other drag queens. Nice. And then recently there's a fundraiser in Vegas called the Red Dress Event. And my drag mother, the Miss Aaliyah Sky, who's normally on the show, turned me into a full-fledged drag queen, and I was Vanilla Sky, my favorite movie.
You were no longer just a boy in a dress. You were a drag queen. And I'm Alex Ringler, and I have never done drag before in my life. So getting right on, so we started in the workroom again, and Nina had nothing but negativity again. And I was glad they responded the way they did. Honestly, they were basically like, girl, bye. Like, fine, we've done everything we can. Peppermint was at her wit's end. Trinity was at her wit's end. Like, did we think the outcome would be anything different than it was by the end of the show? Michael?
No, of course not. You know, I mean, clearly he won the lip sync. But even though, I mean, everyone in the workroom was cheering him. They were they were going, Nina, Nina. And he still was like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, Debbie fucking Downer.
Yeah, do you think there was kind of a little bit of like, Valentina was like such like so beloved, and I'm the one that sent her home, and maybe there was like some guilt there? I mean, I think he even said it. He was like, I kind of feel guilty. Christopher, what do you think?
I think she looks for any excuse to kind of pity herself. I think Valentina was a very convenient one this week. My heart broke a little bit for Nina the first few weeks because she seemed like somebody who'd been through a lot in her life and seemed very down on herself. But I frankly got tired of it. I mean, every week you have all of these people who you're competing with who really don't need to cheer you on, but cheering you on anyway and telling you how wonderful you are. Even Peppermint said at one point, I've never had to make somebody feel good about doing well in a challenge. The entire defeatist attitude was just exhausting. I mean,
of course it was. And the thing is I think that Nina has something called imposter syndrome, where it's like you get to a level of like success or praise and you don't feel worthy of it. You feel like, oh, I don't actually deserve this. I'm going to be found out, that sort of thing. Which is a real thing that can happen. But at the same time, it's up to you to get past that. And she just wasn't going to get past it. That was very clear, and it was very clear throughout the rest of the episode. Garrett, what did you think?
It's she had mentioned that, and even her drag partner had mentioned that depression is a real thing. It's something that I don't quite understand. I'm kind of like a raging optimist in my life, and so I do sense that maybe there's something really deep going on there, and probably needs to go and talk to a professional. Which Google your resources around you. There's always somebody to talk to that can maybe help you get you out of that. And she's a little more clinical help, and I think. But overall, I think that the team was there to support, which is what you have to do in those situations, because that's what we're all about. We're here about, being here for each other. There's enough enemies in the world, so help us bring each other up. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I think that, they did their best to do it. It kind of fell on deaf ears, and we saw the result of it. But anyway, getting to the Maxi Challenge, no mini challenge again. Did we have like one mini challenge this whole season, and that's it?
Like two, maybe.
Maybe two. Okay, but the Maxi Challenge was fun this week. I thought some of those crew members were a little bit attractive there. My favorites, I wrote down Rizzo and Duncan, and then I have a heart around Duncan in my notes because I thought he was very handsome. Did anyone else have some crew crushes? Russ, did you have a crew crush?
I have a heart on around Rizzo. You have a heart around Duncan.
Oh, okay.
Rizzo.
Oh, goodness. Well, unfortunately, he couldn't get a heart on himself because he was taped back for the entirety of the challenge.
Hysterical that Trinity made him do that. That was.
And did you watch Untucked?
No, I haven't watched Untucked yet.
Yeah.
She comes off as she's like she's had a crush on Rizzo for a while, and she was like, but it all kind of went away when I had to kind of put all his junk behind him. So I was like, yeah. I mean, that'll put you in that situation. Did Walter any crushes? Any potential models for you in the crew?
No. In a word, no.
In a word, no. Okay. I don't know.
Next question.
I thought,
get it.
I don't know. Duncan was giving me some sort of like, I don't know if it was a daddy thing or a rough around the edges thing, but I was just enjoying that. But okay, speaking of tucking, did you guys ever have to do that when you did your drag? Because, no. Chris? No?
Yeah.
Chris?
It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun.
And that's the thing is, like, people kind of don't know. Like, the general layperson doesn't know what tucking involves. So I'm glad that they kind of, I don't think it's happened in the series so far where it's had to happen. Dylan, what were you saying? Dylan?
I said I tucked Frisco in Japan.
And did you use tape?
Yes.
Like, did you just pull it back?
You there?
Yeah, we're there. Oh, are you losing us?
Dylan.
Oh, we might be losing
yeah.
Dylan.
Use tape. Use tape all the way through. Stretch it up and get all that. Yeah. And the best part was during the show, the tape ripped, and my balls came flying out in the middle of the show because I was in like freaking like skin tight fishnets with like tight undergarments, so you could just see my fucking balls just like rolling down my
Well,
leg.
maybe that's the excitement. Maybe that's the excitement of drag shows, because you never know when there's going to be some little slip like that.
In a drag race
know when that's gonna
blowout.
Okay, so we eventually got Rizzo tucked. We eventually got all of the girls
fantastic.
into their look. And then we went to the runway. And I really thought that Sasha was my favorite this week. Her looks, I know she didn't win, but I thought her looks and her performance were the best. Trinity did a good job as well, but who are our favorites this week? Michael, let's start with you.
I really liked Sasha and what was the Donatella.
Yeah.
I liked
Well,
the two of them because they looked almost like they really looked like they were related.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what I liked about it, is Sasha did her makeup plot on his face.
Yeah.
And because she has such specific makeup plot, like, it very much looks like the family resemblance there. And so that's what stood out the most for me, and that's why she was my favorite this week. Walter, did you have a favorite?
Yeah, well, let me say this. I think the person that got the real bum rap was Alexis.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, because the brief was create somebody who looks like you. And they looked like sisters. I don't care that she was wearing that onesie, whatever you call that thing that she was wearing. That's Alexis's look.
Yeah.
She wears that all the time in the clubs. And I don't know what Ross Matthews' problem is, but he hates her. She could have come out wearing a Bob Mackie original with fireworks coming out of her tits and juggling flaming hatchets. And Ross still would have said she needs to be in the bottom too. So I thought Alexis met the brief, Trinity met the brief, and Sasha Velour met the brief. Everybody else crashed and burned.
And I will say that, like, we watch, if you do watch Untucked, Alexis talks about that being like, okay, they clocked me because they said it looks like an out-of-the-bag costume, but she has a specific shape that she designs for, which is herself, and to design a costume that was that well tailored for her takes time and it takes effort. So I will say that it's like, that's
her brand.
Exactly, but and she did put effort into it. The problem was,
I thought she was.
Yeah, I thought, but she put effort into it, but it didn't necessarily look like she did. But maybe that's because it was so, like, kind of flawlessly put together. So.
That said, there is a history of the judges not being a fan of onesies, I've noticed on the show, or like bodysuits in general. I remember Jujubee and Raven got read very harshly when they did their superhero look in All Stars. Like, anytime there's either a onesie or a full bodysuit look, even Nina, I remember they were saying her look was a little bit similar this week to Alexis's. And I think it was Michelle who was saying, I'm getting tired of this same look over and over again. They seem to really clock the onesie thing.
Well, yeah, you don't like a onesie and they don't like a leotard because it's, I think because they're saying it's like the easiest thing to do, or it's like a bathing suit with a piece of fabric around it, like in the Derek Barry, like.
but I would point out that Valentina in the second or third runway came out in a white onesie, and they all just squirted all over her.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, she came out in a leotard, and then everyone loved it. So maybe it's just in how you sell it. Maybe it's at this point in the competition, because now we're down to the final 6 this week. So speaking of the runway, do we think the bottom 2 were the right bottom 2 this week? Russ, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. As much as I love Shea Coulee, and I think she did a really good job of putting things together, I think of all of them, I'd put her in the top 3 as far as a good pairing, but it was just not a complete look when you compare it to everyone else.
Agreed. And what was kind of sad, not sad, but unfortunate, was she got the chance to pick her person right off the bat because she won the challenge last week. And I don't know what it was. Was she just running out of time? But, like, the looks were bad, and why was the wig not sprayed? Like, I didn't like the runway, but because I personally, because she's been in the top so much, I kind of wanted to see Alexis and Nina go at it. And also then I felt like it might not have been as clear who the winner was going to be. Because when it was like Shay versus Nina, I was like, come on, we know what's going to happen. Walter, what did you think?
Okay, well, I'll be contrarian on this also. Yes, Shay should have been in the bottom, but Peppermint, her sister looked nothing like her. Not the Peppermint was in like that plaid thing, and then she put a floral on the other person. There was absolutely no cohesion between the two of them. But Rue was like, yeah, but your sister was so amazing, she saved you. Well, that wasn't the challenge.
Agreed.
I mean, that he just won that by the luck of the draw. The challenge was make somebody where you look like sisters. They looked nothing.
Yeah, I think that was.
So I would have actually put Shay and Peppermint in the bottom.
Shay and Peppermint, yeah. I actually do. I agree with you there. The like between the gowns and then their two looks, like that was more cohesive than the Peppermint look. Like all they had going on with them was their hair. That looked the same. Christopher, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm siding with almost everybody else. I would have put Shay and Nina in the bottom as well. I think what's really kind of interesting about this competition is that even if you've been a front runner for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, this is graded by a week-by-week basis. I mean, one bad week and you can be in the bottom. You can go home. I mean, it nearly happened to Alaska last season. And I also noticed that this particular challenge where the queens have to do the makeup and provide an outfit for somebody else is always what can mess up even the best front runner. This is always the challenge they can flounder in. And somebody like Shay, who delivers every week, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, she's so focused on her own detail, I think she unintentionally missed some details in her partner. And
true, but also we've seen Shay give not great looks on the runway before too.
Yeah.
So this wasn't necessarily unprecedented. Garrett, what do you think?
Well, my new favorite, now that Valentina is gone, is Sasha. I think that there's just something about his chill, kind of like, he said it in the show, he was like, I like him. He's like, kind of like just like a stoner, like just going with the flow. And I like that vibe. I think that he really opened up in this episode and had fun with it. And just really brought it to a place where it was all about the reason behind this challenge and why it's so important. It is important for people that aren't in our community to really embrace it. And I thought that this speaks volumes to the burly men out there that maybe think they can't open up. I love that he saw the real meaning of the challenge.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And speaking of the looks on the runway this week, the Zaldi dress that Rue was wearing. Oh my God.
Amazing.
That's my favorite look she's had this season. I know she wore it because Zaldi was there this week, but why did she not wear that for Club Kid? That was a little more Club Kid than the look she gave me last week, I think, personally. Anyway, okay, so getting to the lip sync. Is this just the season of the lackluster lip sync? Because aside from Peppermint, we've gotten not great stuff going on. Dylan, we're going to cut to you. What did you think of the lip sync this week?
Well, you know, I mean, you gotta take it as it comes and go where it goes. You gotta go where things take you, and you gotta go. You gotta go all the way to the end and make sure that you take it all the way, like touchdown, home run, you know, over the fence. So good job for them.
Dylan, you're turning into Trump. What's going on?
Thank you, Paula.
Oh, by the way, I see Michael's having a little bebida over there. We have some special cocktails this week. Why don't you tell us what we're drinking?
Okay, so this one, in honor of one of Kesha's songs, this is called the Grow a Pear.
Grow a Pear.
So it's pear nectar, pear vodka, and a little bit of triple sec, and a pear.
Yum. That's very apparent.
I have one here. This is called the Fierce Tuck.
Oh, Lord. And what is in a Fierce Tuck?
Vampire vodka, wild strawberry liqueur, vanilla vodka, and some rum chata.
And some pureed duct tape, just like right in the bottom. So, okay,
Here's the
but
duct tape.
and I'm glad you did 2 this week because it was a double challenge this week. Make one for yourself, make one for a friend. What did you think of the lip sync, Walter Kurtz?
Well, what you asked earlier was like, what's the
Yes.
problem with the lip syncs this
Yeah.
season? I think part of the problem is the music that they're picking sucks.
Yeah.
For the most
Also, why
part.
didn't they have a Kesha
It's not
song when Kesha
particularly
was there, by the
memorable.
way?
You know why? I think this because she was still suing Sony at that time.
Yeah, I think
bet they couldn't get the right.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, because when Demi Lovato came on, I'm like, what? So yeah, but my roommate Daniel Lynn Evans, hey Daniel, he brought that up too. There's like, well, her management and her are like in trial or whatever. I was like, yeah, I guess, but it just seemed like a missed opportunity. Okay, so another queen gone, Miss Nina Bonina Brown Simpson. I wasn't sad to see her go. I was kind of sad to see her struggle, though, like, the whole time. And at the end, when she said she was trying to be a voice for the community, I was like, how are you trying to be a voice for the community? Like, that seemed that seemed like in, like, the far removed part of, like, everything she was going through. So, like she said, I think she kind of did not show that part of herself. Now that she's gone, who do we think tops? Who do we think bottoms? Let's start with Michael. We'll do Russ at the end so we can get QLifeMagazine. Michael, who do you think's on your top right now?
Okay, top, Sasha, Trinity, and I still want Peppermint to get there. I'd like that to happen. But let's say Peppermint, Shay, sort of half and half.
Okay, all right. Walter Kurtz, do we have tops? Do we have bottoms?
Yeah, okay, so Trinity's obviously in the top. Sasha's obviously in the top. It's really the third spot. And the problem that I'm having with Shay and Peppermint is I don't see any point of view from them. They're just drag queens. And everybody that's ended up in the tops in the past, they have some shtick, they have some hook, and I don't know who those two are. So just going purely off people who have a point of view, final 3, Trinity, Sasha, Alexis.
Wow, okay. We've got that. I think that's the first time on this panel we've heard Alexis as a top 3.
Yeah.
But I will agree with you, Walter. Like, they seem to have kind of a lack of branding, whereas the other queens in the top, they are extremely branded. Like, you can tell they probably have merch ready to sell.
There has not been there has not been a single winner since season 4 who did not have a distinct point of view. And that, I think, does not bode well for Shay or Peppermint.
Agreed. I wasn't a fan of Violet Chachki winning, but that's just me.
But she was a look queen.
But she was a look, and she had the waist, and she like that was her thing. She's like, I cinched my waist to like -12 inches, and that's what I do. So
Tyra Sanchez was the worst.
Oh, the other Tyra.
The other Tyra.
What's interesting
is
about
that deep voice? Christopher, who's on your tops?
Somebody who I think could really take this whole thing, and I didn't see her coming the entire time, was Trinity. Even though she's been delivering consistently, she kind of snuck up on me. I was always looking at Sasha and Shay.
3 wins now.
Yeah.
3 wins now.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Trinity, and I think Sasha and Shay, and I think whoever goes next, it's going to be up to either Alexis or Peppermint. I think.
Okay.
I think Alexis honestly is going to be the next to go personally.
I kind of agree with that statement. I'm on board with you, Christopher. Dylan G. Rush, who do you want to win?
Sasha is my favorite. I just am totally enamored. But I will say that I was right, because last week I said that Shay was going to stumble.
You did, actually.
Crazy. And there she goes. She's that purely just on personality. I'm going with Shay and Peppermint. Those are, Peppermint and Sasha.
Two.
Peppermint and Sasha as top two. Okay,
Peppermint
all right.
and Sasha.
But you're right, Dylan. We were talking about Shay last week, and she'd been pretty consistent the whole time. And you were like, yeah, something's gonna happen. She's gonna stumble. So this is the week, and she had to sing. So Garrett's balcony. What do you think?
Garrett is attending Pride in Puerto Vallarta, and so I guess he's left us with the scenic view. I guess he's left us a Grindr profile.
I'm freaking jealous. I would love to be in Puerto Vallarta right now. Oh, but is this our first international?
This is
Zoom?
our first international broadcast.
Yay. Build bridges, not walls. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all for joining me this week, joining us this week. Thank you for watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Thank you for watching The Morning After.
We're not done.
Oh, we're not done. I'm easing into the end here. Russ White, QLife.com. Who are our tops, who are our bottoms?
Tops, same as last week. We haven't really changed much. It's Sasha, Shay, and Trinity.
That's a strong three.
Yeah.
Bottom.
I'll never like Trinity.
Yeah.
Never win me over. She'll never do it.
You're still mad about Valentina. You're still going through Valentina breakup.
Yeah, well, okay, but still, I never liked Trinity anyway.
Oh, wow. She don't like that silicone queen.
Sticking to
Who
it.
are in the bottoms on Q Life magazine?
The bottoms are Nina, Alexis, and Peppermint.
Yeah, I love Peppermint, but she's just coasting a little too much.
I do want to say on Walter's point that there's no one with a point of view because Eureka left the show early.
I think so too. Yeah, she went a little too soon. Well, that's what we said in our first few episodes. We're like, we were big fans of her, and when she left, it was just like, oh gosh, well. But guess what? She's back on season 10, so we get we get a little bit more of the Eureka point of view. Again, thanks for joining us. Tell your friends if you love us. Tell your enemies if you hate us. And we'll be here week after week. What is it? Only like 4 more weeks? Because we have 5 left, but they do only a few more shows, right?
Just a few more left, so it's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, next week I'll be broadcasting live from Fire Island because I'll be there doing the Fire Island Broadway Bears. And I'll put a link in the comments below to my fundraising page. I just passed over $3,000, so thank you everybody who's donated. That's amazing. I'm gonna go for 4. I'm gonna try for $4,000 this year, and then I'll be from Connecticut. So this might be the last time you see this room. It's gonna be a different room next time. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching The Morning After with your host me, Alex Ringler, and all panelists. Let's all say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.